Hey, what's going on everybody? Suro here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at some news. They just dropped on us literally seconds ago. Pretty much they are just buffing a bunch of stuff. We're going to dive right into it. If you guys wouldn't mind hitting that like button for me, subscribing to the channel, I'd really appreciate it. Let's just jump right into it. All right, so they said, hello, we are aware of the Valby Run issue. Instead of removing it, we'll update other farming locations to match the efficiency equivalent to the Fortress Outpost. Now, as you probably know, lots of players have been using this thing, well, using the character Valby to just do these runs over here at the Fortress Outpost and just getting tons and tons of gold and stuff. Instead of doing what other game developers would do, which is nerf it, they're like, you know what, we're just going to buff everything else within the game to make it, you know, bring everything up to a balance, which we haven't really seen this done too much before. And I'm hoping that they continue to be this awesome. So they said we're preparing for a hotfix to address this. Thank you for your feedback. They have an article here we're going to take a look at. They said, greetings, Descendants. I wish to share the dev's opinion regarding our issue called the Valby Run. Valby Run strategic outpost farming using Valby is currently taking place at the outpost within the fortress. Was certainly not intended. Due to our systematic mistake, mobs at the Fortress Outpost have been respawning infinitely. As a result, the amount of items dropped has increased 2 to 3 times higher than that of other popular locations. To maintain our game and to be adored by our players for a long time, we believe that it is just wrong to just look on and leave the unbalanced content, which is providing biased rewards. However, as Valby Run became popular very quickly within our community, we assume many players have researched Valby to enjoy the newly discovered content. So they're pretty much saying that we know that you guys went out of your way to grind up Valby and just make her, you know, awesome, top tier, and we don't want your efforts to go to waste, especially if you spent some real money to help boost it and stuff. So they said the current issue has occurred clearly by our mistake, but we do not wish to suddenly remove it, because it is already something that's solid content now. So we would like to inform you that we are preparing a patch without completely blocking the Fortress Outpost issue and to allow players to enjoy playing like before. However, at the same time, we will update other farming locations to match the efficiency equivalent to the Fortress Outpost. That way you're not just logging on and just rerunning the same area over and over until it gets boring and monotonous. They're actually going to buff other areas. So they said, although we've insisted that no additional patch will be necessary next week, we have been preparing a new hotfix prioritized to apply improvements so that we could finalize the week 5 development schedule. The main purpose for patch 104 is to reduce the cool time for Vulgus strategic outpost and rebalance the locations for collecting void fragments. Also, we're planning to diversify methods for gold supply by enhancing gold efficiency within special operations. This is a huge win. They said, as we continue our live service for the first Descendants, we have no plan to respond by simply nerfing certain content for any gameplay which collides with our intentions. We respect every content created by our players, and we will do our best to create a game that all players can enjoy together for a long time. So this, of course, is some absolutely amazing news. There's most game companies they start off strong, you know, players come across glitches, exploits, and then they just nerf it. Players just kind of get tired of it. They leave the game. So the thing about the final Descendants is so far, and this could change because I don't know if you guys were ever any Overwatch 2 players. You remember when a character was overpowered and instead of nerfing it, they just started buffing the other characters to kind of balance it out. And then after a while, they were like, nah, and they just started nerfing everything, and then the game started to die off. Hopefully that's not the case with this one. It looks like they're going pretty strong listening to the community. And if you look at the Steam like database, like the charts, they're still pulling about 150,000 concurrent like players at one time. This game really has not died off, surprisingly. I don't say surprisingly like the game's bad or anything. It's actually incredible. It's just surprisingly like most games come off on such a great high and then they just take a nosedive. This game has been pretty consistent, so I think that's through a lot of the efforts from the developers. But let me know any of your guys' thoughts or comments down below. I'd love to hear it. Hope you guys have the best day ever, and I'll see you in the next one.